Hey now!
How you guys doing?
What's going on, guys? How you doing? It's the podcast at Chillin Out. I'm Dan. This is
Chris.
For now. Last time we were here, he was alright.
Whatever doesn't matter.
Whatever, fuck it, doesn't matter.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, fuck it, doesn't matter. Keep going.
What are names, really?
Yeah,
What's
what are
a
names?
name?
What is a name?
What's in a name?
Except the title. What
Yeah.
is it? What you represent? You know, like Daniel is the...
You ever see a name and you're like, oh, I don't like that name?
Daniel's definition is the judge of God.
What?
I checked my name out a couple times. What it means in the Bible, like where it comes from.
You're the judge of God?
No, like God's judge. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought you were saying, like, you judge God.
No.
That's pretty high and mighty.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what it means in the Bible,
yeah.
like the way it's worded. You gotta understand how they're wording it. Yeah. But so anyway.
How was it actually pronounced in the Bible? Like in the olden times?
Daniel?
I doubt
It's Hebrew. It's Greek Hebrew.
But okay, but how would you say it in Hebrew?
I don't know. I don't speak Hebrew.
You should know, man. It's your name.
Well, when I do learn how to say it in Hebrew, I guess I'll get back to you on that.
Why wait?
Okay. Anyway, how are you guys? How's your week? We missed you. We got some pretty dank news.
Oh yeah.
Meaning dank. Let's start with my article. It's just a whole lot more positive. See what I'm saying? Yeah, it is Hebrew. Yeah. Chris is playing my name out loud on Google in Hebrew, and it's Daniel, and the phone is just continuously saying Daniel. It's great. But okay, as far as legalization goes for cannabis, ladies and gentlemen, today on NewJersey.com, it was posted February 8th, updated February 8th. Do you have any thoughts on legal weed? A New Jersey assemblyman wants to hear from you directly.
That's you. That's you guys.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is you, the people. Listen to this opportunity again. Listen to how it's being worded. Okay?
That's weed.
Do you have any questions or thoughts on legal weed? NJ Assemblyman wants to hear from you. Dude, that's huge. So, in this article, it reads, as the din from the marijuana legalization debate reverberates around New Jersey, the state assembly next month is set to get in on the discussion. The New Jersey Assembly's Committee on Oversight, Reform, and Federal Relations is holding a meeting on March 5th to hear thoughts from the public on marijuana legalization. In quotes, it will be an open meeting involving the surrounding the issue of cannabis products, end quote, said Assemblyman Joe Danielson, Democrat of Middlesex County, chairman of the Oversight Committee. Danielson announced the hearing in a committee meeting Thursday afternoon. The Assembly Democrats later posted the announcement on YouTube. See video below. But you guys can't see that. We'll probably link that in there. So, they were called, not receiving or returning any calls back Thursday for seeking a comment on the hearing. It's unclear at this point if the meeting will be regarding a specific bill or will be more of a general discussion. I'm kind of gotta lead towards the fact that it's gonna just be an open discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be like them literally going to the people and going, what do the citizens truly feel should be done?
That seems bizarre to me because I feel like, not to be elitist or nothing, but I feel like the last thing you want when writing laws is the average Joe's opinion.
Well, the people, it's a state meeting. Like, you can't go in with like fucked up and like all over yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go in there as a respectable adult. Like
that one fucking... Have you seen that video of the two guys going into...
The Chad and the Jay, yeah. But, like, you can't go in like that. You can't go in like that. And if if somebody does, then, hey, power to you, brother, but you're fucking it up for everybody else.
You think the NJ Weedman's gonna be there?
NJ Weedman, I believe, is still in prison.
Fuck. So that's what we should go and voice. We should be like, yo,
free NJ
release
Weedman.
NJ Weedman. Yeah.
Release NJ Weedman.
Yeah. I think that's definitely something that people, I would hope, I'm not going to probably go in because that's too far.
I'm going to go because it's on my day off. It's on March 5th.
What day is it?
March 5th?
Yeah, like what day of the week?
March 5th is a Monday.
Monday? Oh, I work Monday, so
That's
I can't
what I'm
go
saying.
anyway. But if I were to go, which I'm not, even if I had off, because that's too far. But if I were, I would hope that a lot of people will be voicing weed is going to happen. We already got that settled for the most part. It's going to happen. They're going to let you grow plants, whatever. That's great. The one thing they haven't even mentioned, really, I don't believe, is a retroactive pardon for the people whose lives have already been ruined by these unfair laws. The laws are coming out now and saying, these laws are not right. They don't reflect our morals as a society.
Yeah.
But you still have people in prison for it. And it's like, I get that, at the time it was a law and you broke the law and there should be consequences. But at what point does the usefulness of a law
start to impede on just most of society's life?
Yeah, you shouldn't just have laws just to have laws. There should be a moral basis for them.
Yeah, there should be a line
and if
that is a measure of where it doesn't matter anymore. And it's like they've kind of just
if you're coming out and saying that, it's now those laws were immoral.
The line has no longer been observed.
Yeah.
Let's say. Yeah. For a long time, and it's
a long time, yeah. I mean, that's true.
And it's just being overlooked for years on decades.
That's like my one kind of gripe with all the movements for legalization is that nothing's really done to address that issue.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
That's the point. Is that they go after minorities.
Yeah,
dude, I testified right now to the world that I live in Roosevelt Park and I go up and down Westfield Avenue every day. And I know what everybody's doing, man. Everybody's human, and they do what they do. So this is the thing, man. Up and down Westfield Avenue all day. I bet you somebody's getting popped with a joint in their ashtray, and this is the thing. Their skin tone just so happens to be darker than mine, and darker than yours, and darker than normal than the cop sees around their town that they usually protect.
I mean, I don't think it's arguable. The statistics back it up.
But my untrained eye, Chris, sees it every day.
Yeah.
So it's a thing that everybody does, but this is the thing, is that they're going after people of certain color, honestly.
For sure.
Because they know that everybody's doing it, but for years, that was a prime target.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting, dude.
It's wild.
And that's a big issue, and that's one of the biggest issues that actually our governor is tackling for the recreational purpose.
I mean, apparently not, though, because
he said it's mainly for it's something about oppressing minorities.
Of course. Well, but there's still no talk of the retroactive pardon, which is like huge. You have all these people that are in prison for non-violent drug-related offenses.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people have been actually arrested for just possession of marijuana in the past X amount of years. I know people who've gotten bumped for that, and they get like a probation at most.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have gotten actually arrested for that, but I guarantee there are people in jail now who have gotten arrested for that.
Of course.
For just that.
Yeah.
And why? I don't know. I mean, hopefully when it all
garbage.
goes around, the one last bastion of hope I have is that when it federally rolls around, that will be addressed. Otherwise, I mean, I'd hate to be one of those people in jail thinking like, well, fuck. Like, did I just get bumped a year too early, and then my life is ruined for this? Like, it's upsetting. Yeah.
When does it stop affecting civilians' lives?
It'll take generations.
Negatively. When does something so positive stop affecting people's lives so negatively? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When do people have to stop rolling against the tide? You know what I mean? Like, when can they just go with it?
And then in a few generations, I guess we won't see it happening anymore. But I mean, shit, even when it becomes legalized, I imagine that there's still people getting in trouble for shit related to it, Like, you have too many plants, or you're holding too much, or you have a scale and that's intent to sell. Like, I was around the other day with I was strapped with like 4 ounces. Which I mean, like, I go get, it's still personal use though, but if I got pulled over and someone saw that, they wouldn't need a fucking scale to say I'm trying to, I have intent to distribute.
Yeah.
How can you prove that in court? How can you prove that I intend to distribute? No, I'm just a fucking, conservative money spender.
Yeah.
I buy in bulk for a better deal, and I sit on it for 4 months. It's economically sound.
Yeah,
You know?
It makes sense. It works for me, and it works for everybody else. I stay out of their hair for longer, and I stay out of your hair for longer.
I imagine that. I don't know if that would actually like pass in court. You know, they always try to tack on that possession to distribute charge, but I don't know how often that actually flies in court. You know, that'd be interesting to find out. That's not a word.
No, it's not a word. That's me clicking because I can't remember the word now.
Yeah. I don't know how an alibi would play into it. Continue. Okay.
I can roll my schedule off and have time every time and nowhere else.
Well, you don't need an alibi if you're not committing a crime. Argue that there's always
and I
enough
can
time
also
for
have
something.
multiple people who can back me up on this and say I was there. I saw my whole schedule,
I don't know if that would really
including
fun that way.
smoking. Stay out of the public's face with it.
To be devil's advocate, house. Not that in your situation you would, because that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, don't know about that. You know, it's not really all.
What you mess with the wires for?
Well, it's actually kind of looking like it was dangling.
Okay, no, we're good.
But yeah, snooch.
Audio's
snooch.
still recording.
Gucci fly.
But yeah, man. Did you on a separate newsworthy note, some wild shit happened in Israel.
What the fuck is going on? Tell the good people what's going on while I get my vape.
Excuse me. So, in Israel, I'm not too sure exactly when it happened. I think it was around the weekend, or I guess this weekend in that case. But Iran apparently flew a drone into Israel's territory, and yeah, it was over the weekend. And Israel was forced to shoot it down.
Oh no!
Happened on February 10th, yesterday. So
shit.
Israel shoots this drone down.
No.
And then they go on a fucking air raid of Syria and blow up tons of shit that belongs to Iran.
Oh no.
And for the first time in like fucking 94, 2004, like 30 years, Israeli jet was shot down, which is like a huge deal. I mean, this is basically a battle, like not a real battle, because obviously Iran can't compete.
Yeah.
They managed to shoot down one drone, but Israel fucking destroyed them over there.
It's still an act of violence, though, which is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they flew this drone into their airspace, probably with full knowledge that what would happen.
Yeah.
They, you know, obviously people don't care about, the leaders don't really care about the little people, of course.
No.
But
of course not. Why would they?
They flew this drone in there knowing exactly full knowledge what would happen, because Israel's done it before in the past too. Whenever something flies over their territory, they'll shoot it the fuck down. But yeah, we might be like on the precipice of some serious shit. You know? I mean,
dude, that's really hardcore.
And Israel's not afraid to fuck shit up. Like, you know, it's like what's it called? Almost like a Napoleon complex. They're super tiny, but you fuck with them and they're gonna ruin your fucking day.
It's like America.
Yeah. Well, no, we're huge. That's different.
Mm.
We're just big bullies.
Compared to China, though.
We're
the middle. We're the middle of.
You know?
We're the middle of North America.
Not really like size wise, but like
we're the middle of a continent.
Strength wise, which is interesting. I was talking to our mutual boss this morning about this. I don't believe personally that there could ever be a World War III in the same vein as other world wars. I don't believe that's possible.
Where it's an en masse just dumping of human life.
Yeah, I don't
into
think it's
something that
anymore.
is insanely unnecessary.
More so like superpowers fighting each other. So like USA, we would never go to direct war with Russia. You know, what we might do is, you know, fund Israel, and they might fund Iran, and they might have those two guys fight it out, and basically we declare the winner that way. It's a proxy war, you know. But I don't think we would ever go into a full-on war with Russia or China or anything like that, or Europe going into full-on war with those guys. It would be a
sub-war, like a sub-tweet.
Yeah. Reason being is that if, you know, let's say hypothetically we did go to war to Russia, and Russia starts fucking us up, we're most of the world's economy. You know, we're I mean, per, you know, country, you know, we're 25% of the world's global GDP, the entire planet. At that point, you're just kind of fucking yourself over if you fuck with us, you know. Even if you went to the full extent of destroying our nation entirely, you're kind of just boning yourself, you know. You're
bones the rest of the planet, dude.
Yeah, you're boning the rest of the planet, including yourself. So there's really no, unless you're an insane dictator North Korea who decides to just blow shit up for no reason, with no care about your own personal safety. There's no way we could ever have a World War III like that.
Your own personal safety?
But Iran and Israel might actually like full on duke it out. Like I think it's possible that Israel fucking ends up nuking someplace if they hit them hard enough. Iran's got like thousands of missiles. If they decide to shoot 2,000 missiles at Israel.
What's their fucking gig, man? What's their deal? What's their fucking problem?
Yo, I don't know the complexity behind politics, but what I perceive looking at this picture as a whole is that people just really don't like Jews across the world.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The world has room for everybody.
For sure.
Everybody.
You look through time and it's just like everyone at some point has done something to Jewish people.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
Leave them fuck alone.
Leave them alone.
Let them chill.
Jewish people are cool.
Yeah.
Jewish people are really nice. They're really caring. They're amazing just like food. Everybody else.
Amazing food.
Amazing food. Amazing culture.
God. I can go for some serious
and their history, like you were just saying, their history is so amazing.
Yeah.
Their history is monumental. Yeah. It's undeniable. It's
recorded
literally in thousands of different ways.
Yeah.
And it all matches. It's all symbiotic. It all lives together.
So, yeah, that's some crazy shit.
That is some gnarly, unnecessary stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, Israel has done some fucked up shit too.
See, now here's the thing. I'm on this whole wave where if we ever did go to war, bro. Here's the thing. I hate war. War is hell. War is death. War is unforgivable. War is just you can't undo it. You know what I mean? You can't undo it, and to try and stop it is almost damn near impossible. And right now, with the amount of the negativity, this is where I'm standing on it.
Yeah.
Where the negativity level is in the world right now, dude, there's too much negativity in the world to the point where it would take a bit of time if a war did start.
Well,
but now my standing also is this. With that being said, if a war started on our home front here, would we notice?
Like a war? Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. If you're talking about a war, like bombs being dropped?
Not necessarily.
And gunshots ringing through the night?
What?
The rocket's red glare?
What if the public truly took its power back?
Like revolution?
Revolution.
I think we'd be in a worse off position, in all honesty.
Okay. What if people started walking in the streets and chanting and saying, "You're not going to take our country from us," and this, that, and the third, and...
Then, I mean, if they're just chanting in the streets, that's not war.
But, I mean, like, if people are fighting in the streets over this, like, groups of people are rallying against one another.
Oh, I mean, like a civil war. If we had a civil war... Honestly, I think if we had a civil war, what would be the two sides? Like Republicans and Democrats or something?
Just generally.
Well, like
think of any two separate groups that would be against each other in the United States. I'm sure.
Well, to have a civil war, you need some big groups. So let's just say Republicans.
This
and
is where I'm going with this. I personally feel there's a war already.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people that are against each other unnecessarily in the world just because different beliefs and different views and different opinions. And these different views and different opinions are a problem for some people. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because they're either too harsh for people or they're just too harsh of an opinion. Like, if you have an opinion, that's cool. Keep it mellow.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought that, and I had a conversation with a customer this day.
Don't be such a cock.
And
I
kind of phrased it wrong. I said, if you don't have the drive to really fully research your opinions to the fullest extent, you
shouldn't talk about them.
Not that you shouldn't talk about them, you shouldn't hold a strong opinion about them.
Yeah, because you don't really know.
Like, let's say, I don't know, let's fucking say about...
Like, cannabis is our thing. So, like, we keep up with, like, the legalization.
We know about cannabis, though. So, like, we can
That's what I'm saying.
have a strong opinion about that.
We have a strong opinion because we know about it because, like, it's kind of something that we just grew up with learning.
So let's say I didn't know about cannabis. I would probably be like, I want it legalized, but I'm not really... And let's say I didn't smoke it. Let's say I didn't smoke cannabis and I didn't really know anyone who smoked it and I just kind of, like, know about the issues, two sides fighting each other, I'd be like, well, I kind of don't see a problem with it being legalized, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And if someone was like, well, no, this is all the bad shit it does, I'd be like, oh, well,
Oh,
right.
well, yeah, I feel.
Yeah. But, not that people shouldn't have a right to the opinion, but I don't think it's logical to have a level of hostility that supersedes your knowledge on a subject. And that goes for any and all opinions on both sides. I think one of the most frustrating things to me is that is the issue of global warming, of climate change.
Yes.
Because, and I'm angry at both sides for this, because whenever I see a pro-climate change video, it's always just, very rarely does it ever go into the meat of it, like the why of it. It's so easy to explain why this is happening, but very rarely do you see people actually explaining it. You just see two sides just going, no, I'm right. And it's like, oh, no, I'm right. You're dumb. And it's like, no, you're dumb. And then in the comments, you have people saying, I can't believe this guy. He's so dumb. And you have the other guy saying, like, what are you talking about? This guy's dumb. Your guy's dumb. My guy's the one that's right. Yeah. And it's like, well, you're not even saying anything worth it.
You're not saying anything logical of explaining.
But you have such heated opinions about it. And it's like, well, what are you fucking doing?
It's illogical to argue over what you don't even understand. And for people this is the thing. Now, most of the time, if someone doesn't have the same opinion as someone else usually has to be right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, most of the time, though. Generally.
No. I take a firm stance against that. You have two sides arguing about an opinion and both can be wrong. For sure.
Now, are you saying that to jank the point I'm trying to make?
No,
I
full on believe that.
Okay.
I full on believe that both sides. That's why I'm a centrist.
So you think
that's why I'm not a Democrat or Republican, because I think both sides can argue very angrily, and both sides can be completely wrong.
Okay, so then, what about this? There can be two people that have two different opinions, but two different opinions from two different experiences.
I don't think that anecdotal experiences represent facts. I think that you as a person can only experience such a small percentage of the world around you that anything that you personally experience and the way you feel about certain issues because of that is basically irrelevant.
So do you believe there's truth?
What do you mean? You have to elaborate.
So if there's two people that have two different opinions, who's right, who's wrong?
So that we could find out what the truth is, but...
Who's right, who's wrong? Who's telling the truth?
We can find out what the truth is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one's right or one's wrong. Or, there might be a mix of both.
That's what I mean. I mean,
be like, this person's right about this, but wrong about that. That person's wrong about this, but right about that.
I'm just trying to prove a point here, man, about just situational circumstance. Like, that's what I mean, you know?
I'm just pointing it out because it's a common trap to fall into where you constantly think that you're right.
Well, it's not having to be right. It's just having to logically explain something in a way to prove a point, to prove someone's point, to get the point across for the other to understand.
A lot of people don't think they need to. A lot of people just think that they're right and there's no point in explaining it. And even though I'm very self-aware of my own opinions. My
thing is...
I fall into that trap sometimes, of course.
My personal thing is people always say you have to be right. You always have to be right. And I go, no, that is not the case at all, ever.
Yeah.
The case at all, ever, always, is that I just want you to understand it from my point of view. I don't want you to think I'm crazy. Maybe someone will think I'm crazy, but I don't want you to think I'm crazy. I want to explain it to you wholly in a way where your brain can grasp that concept and go, okay, well, I still don't agree with it, but I understand.
You could understand that person's feelings, but that wouldn't necessarily indicate truth. So, like, let's say we had an argument over,
well, then, if two people are arguing, who's right, though? This is the question. If two people are arguing, who's right?
Again, like, they could both be wrong. There's not a need for somebody to be right. So they can
both be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something to work with.
Yeah, they could both be wrong. Yeah. They could be, if it's a black and white issue, like, okay, what's 2 + 2 equal? And someone says 5 and someone says 1, Yeah. They're both wrong, and they can argue as hard as they want to about it, but they're both wrong. That's what I take from it. I think there's a lot more nuance to issues than people kind of let on.
I think I think you're a little hard to try and explain things to sometimes.
I think you're trying to explain instead of listen.
Well, I listen, and I wait my turn to speak,
Yeah.
and then I come across.
I never turn to speak, by the way. That's good.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah,
that was just a joke. I do.
I never give you time to speak, by the way. That's funny. But no, the whole point is like I always wait my turn. I always try and speak my piece when I can. It makes sense when I say it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the most important part. If you make sense when you speak, then someone understands. And if someone understands, then they can see your point of view, and that changes the whole floor plan.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're arguing about. Because at the end of the day, like, there's certain things that are more based on feelings, and
also,
certain things that are more based on, like, what is actually true.
On a higher mind note,
yeah.
Also keep in mind that it never actually has to be an argument.
Yeah.
It could just be a civilized conversation.
Well, I mean an argument in the sense of, like, like a debate. Like...
Okay.
Not like a
debatable conversation.
Yeah, not like yelling at each other, but an argument being like a debate, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, let's say, we wanted to argue about rewind time back to before we knew.
No.
And let's argue about, what's out beyond Earth, what is space made of? And you say it's a vacuum, there's nothing in space. And I say, well, there's like a cloud in space, just made up of I forget the old Greeks called it. They called it something, but they believe that space was made out of a
really
material.
Quick. Yeah. I hate to cut you off, and I would love to let you go explain that, but we only have a little bit left. But I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast the other day, and this guy went on some shit about there is this bit of information that he was spewing, and this is when I turned it on. My phone's on 1%, so I got to read this fast.
Yeah.
I sent this to my girlfriend because I couldn't believe it. It says, this podcast is crazy as shit. This guy's saying our government has been in contact with some group, in quotes, called the Galactic Council of Celestial Elders, unquote, and they've been instructing us for 150 years on how in a way to change us and evolve us into the being that we're supposed to be, and not only how to reveal themselves to us, but to let the technology come out in a way that's not going to be completely catastrophic for society. They're peace-loving, wonderful beings, but we've decided to follow their instructions to the T for that long now, so now they're ready to introduce themselves. And this is why everything is happening the way that's happening in the world.
I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, that's a mouthful.
Someone was trying to explain like
that's
what it would be
blue.
like.
That's
What if
like
Tom DeLonge's like whole I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Was all about like something like that.
I mean, I
opened the podcast and that's what they were talking about.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But now in that argument of extraordinary evidence, do you need it or not?
To believe
do you
the claim?
Actually need it?
To believe the claim?
Well, to believe is another thing, though. To believe is an entirely different thing.
Do I need it as in, like, to survive? No. I just need food, water, and shelter. But to believe that claim? Yeah, I would want some extraordinary evidence.
I think that's all person to person.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people who are religious out there who don't need that. But,
Yeah. But, all right. That's all the time we've got for today, guys. I have been Dan, here with...
Chris.
Chris.
Just one of them. Chris.
Just one of them. Chris.
There's many of us out there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Peace.